It would be an understatement to say that the Uncharted movie has a ripe history behind it. After various directorial shifts and the COVID-19 pandemic backing its delays, the movie is finally set to release in February of 2022. But even so, what can we expect from the video game adaptation? Today we'll be talking about all the details regarding the Uncharted movie fans need to know. First, let's talk about the release date. As we're all aware, the movie's release wasn't a simple one. The journey to get here was long and winded. The movie based on the popular video game Uncharted actually started filming way back in 2008, over 13 years ago. The movie has since gone through multiple directors and writers. The original release date of the Uncharted movie was set to be in 2016, although that too was soon delayed to the next year. Soon after, it was scrapped and postponed for 3 whole years after old director Travis Knight left the project and was replaced by Ruben Fleischer. But alas, the COVID-19 pandemic took over and further delayed the project. And now, the movie has finally got to a definitive release date, 18th February 2022, in the United States. In the UK, the movie will be released on 11th February, a week earlier. What's more, the new Uncharted will also release on Netflix due to a new deal Sony cut with the conglomerate, which allows them to stream all of Sony's theatrical releases. Of course, this won't be at the same time as the theatrical release, for obvious reasons, but will be released within a 2-year period after the box office release. Now, let's dive into the trailer. Despite being in production for more than a decade, the Uncharted movie trailer was released by Sony Pictures on October 21st, 2021. The trailer provided fans with the first look into the much-anticipated movie. From the trailer, one thing can be decisively deduced. The movie will be just as action-packed as the video game had been. But all that said, the story of the movie is not likely to contain lore from the video game it is titled after. Many believe the movie starring Tom Holland, who's currently making headlines for his role as Spider-Man, and established actor Mark Wahlberg, will be your average action-adventure film. This is not to say that it should be immediately dismissed. No, the movie is set to be catered to all audiences, even ones that aren't die-hard Uncharted fanatics. So it's a given that the movie will be somewhat underwhelming for fans who may be expecting it to be lore-focused. Holland may be too young to play protagonist Nathan Drake, and Wahlberg, according to fans, isn't exactly what Sully is supposed to be in the original story. However, there is still a chance that the movie contains innumerable Easter eggs for eagle-eyed fans. There's a set piece in the movie straight from the games, and regardless of lore, the movie still seems incredibly fun and a worthy watch. Now we're looking into the cast and crew. As mentioned, the movie will be led by Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg, both of whom have, at this point, established a name for themselves in the acting industry. Holland will take on the role of Nathan Drake, and Victor Sullivan, played by Mark Wahlberg, will act as his mentor throughout the course of the film. Nolan North, who voices Drake in the original games, commented on Tom Holland's performance of his character and praised it heartedly. Other actors who will be a part of the movie include Sophia Ali, who will be playing Chloe Fraser, a fellow treasure hunter. Chloe Fraser was introduced to Uncharted in Uncharted 2, Among Thieves, and led the spin-off Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. In the video game, Chloe has a romantic past with Nathan Drake, which leaves one to wonder if the movie's going to try to sprinkle romance between them as well, and finally reveal the past. We know that the movie's antagonist will be played by Antonio Banderas, whose identity is still a bit of a mystery. No one really knows if his character has appeared in the game in the past, and as such, many believe him to be a completely original character created for the movie specifically. Another character who's a big part of the Uncharted movie is Tati Gabrielle, who, surprisingly enough, will also be playing an unknown character. No one has yet been able to deduce her character's identity from the original video game lore, so it is highly possible that she too is a new and original character created specifically for the movie. Or maybe she could play Nathan Drake's future wife, Elena Fisher, a journalist. In the games, the pair got together when Fisher would document Drake's treasure-finding escapades. All this said, the likelihood of Elena Fisher appearing in the movie is slim, and only possible at the very end at least. But what about potential movie plot details? Fans have been driven to the edge of their creative wit, trying to decipher the exact storyline of the movie, and whether it's based on or takes inspiration from the video game lore. One thing is for certain, the movie will be a prequel to the Uncharted video game series and will pick up before the events of the first game. This, of course, allows it to be creatively free from the video game series to an extent, and doesn't necessarily tie itself to the games. The movie is not intended to act as canon at all. An official synopsis for the movie has also been revealed, and it states that the story many had eventually expected it to. The synopsis states that the story is based on one of the best-selling, most critically acclaimed video game series of all time, Uncharted. The movie intends to introduce audiences to the young street-smart Nathan Drake and plans to showcase his first-ever treasure-hunting adventure with wisecracking partner Victor Sullivan. The movie calls itself an action-adventure epic that spans the globe. Uncharted the movie will see two characters go in the dangerous pursuit of the greatest treasure never found, while also tracking clues that may lead to Nathan's long-lost brother. In the movie, Sam, Nathan's brother, apparently disappears whilst looking for the rumored treasure of explorer Ferdinand Magellan, who circumnavigated the world in the early 1500s. The legend goes that even Magellan never really made it back home and was killed during his travels, and some of his crew members had to complete the journey for him instead. What Tom Holland has said about the movie. Tom Holland has even teased details for the movie, as he told Total Film that he finished filming the movie last year and that the director, Ruben Fleischer, did an amazing job job. He said that he was happy with how it turned out and called it fun, epic, and funny. He especially put focus on the action scenes, saying that they were some of the coolest he'd ever done. Other than that, Holland also claimed that he'd put on timber for the film. As an explanation, he stated that when he went to see the set for the first time, he saw Mark Wahlberg, who is massive. He is a unit. I was in good shape, but I wasn't by any means big, Tom said. For the next 5 months after the set had closed for COVID-related reasons, Tom claimed that all he did at home was eat and train, so that he too could put on some weight, so he wouldn't look like a child next to Mark. In a more vulnerable admission for GQ, Holland also claimed that there was parts of his performance in Uncharted that he focused more on looking good on the camera than playing his character authentically. He elaborated by saying, "As soon as you start worrying about, do I look good in this shot, acting becomes something other than playing a character." He does claim that it ended up being a lesson that he learned and that he'd actively and consciously avoid putting on a show in the future. He has also gone on record to state that the Uncharted movie is for everyone. The movie will contain an aspect of the story they've never been privy to, for the fans who love the games. And for people who haven't cared about the games all that much, it may act as a really nice introduction to a character, so it kinda works for everyone. Important details from the game. If you're new to the world of Uncharted, you probably don't know that Nathan Drake is actually a supposed descendant of the historical adventurer Sir Francis Drake, searching for the treasure of El Dorado, a rumored kingdom of gold. The game itself follows a third person's perspective in the story, so it's not a surprise that Sony made a film adaptation. But for those who don't know, this would be a first for Sony. The company has in the past produced the 2014 animated film Heavenly Sword and 2016's Ratchet & Clank for digital release, though Uncharted is Sony's first project planned and created for a wide theatrical release. After literal years of progress and development and scrapping and delays, the final screenplay came from Iron Man and Men in Black International duo Art Markham and Matt Holloway, who took over for Jonathan Rosenberg and Mark Walker, and before that there were even more other drafts. Many praised director Ruben Fleischer for being able to do what no one had before, actually completing a full Uncharted movie. And that's all we have for you today. Are you excited for the new Uncharted movie? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching!